Spanish interpretation of the board meeting is available to attendees. Para español, puede conectarse por teléfono de la siguiente manera. Llame al 904-900-469. Cuando le pida, introduzca el PIN 724-048-578 y la tecla numeral. Any member of the public has the opportunity to address the board in person during the agendized public comment session by 6:30 p.m. Let us begin with roll call. To my far right, we have board member Jackie Philbeck.
Good afternoon.
We have board member Mark Lopez.
Present.
We have our board clerk, Dr. Jose Paulo Macallis.
Present.
I am the board president, Ryan Rellis. Our colleague, Juan Alvarez, is not here this evening. Public speakers for closed session agenda items, there are none. Can I get a motion to adjourn to closed session where we will discuss the following items: conference with legal counsel, public employment, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, and our conference with our labor negotiator. May I have a motion to adjourn to closed session?
So moved, Mr. President.
So moved by board clerk Dr. Macallis.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Mark Lopez. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Let us go to closed session. Do I take these? I take these, yeah?
Yeah.
Ooh, our last closed session again. That's 5 o'clock. Oh, I don't.
Good evening. Welcome to the Anaheim Elementary School District November 13th board meeting. I am AESD board president Ryan Rellis, and I call this meeting to order at 6:31 p.m. This meeting is being conducted in person and by means of live video broadcast on our Anaheim Elementary YouTube channel for members of the public. Spanish interpretation of the board meeting is available to attendees. Para español, puede conectarse por teléfono de la siguiente manera. Llame al 904-900-469. Cuando se la pida, introduzca el PIN 724-048-578 y la tecla numeral. Let us begin tonight with the flag salute. Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Let's go ahead and begin with introductions and roll call. To my far right, we have Ms. Jackie Philbeck, board member.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here.
We have Mark Lopez, board member.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Dr. Jose Paulo Macallis, our board clerk.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here.
I'm Ryan Rellis, the board president. To my left, we have Jesus Jesse Chavarria, the superintendent.
Hi, everyone.
We have Ms. Dina Miland, the assistant superintendent of human resources.
Good evening.
Dr. Yadira Moreno, the assistant superintendent of educational services.
Good evening, everyone.
Matthew Slusser, our assistant superintendent of administrative services.
Good evening.
We have on my far right over there, Ms. Belinda Gordillo, the communications coordinator.
Good evening, everyone.
Yesenia Mancha, our senior administrative assistant.
Good evening, everybody.
In our back, we have Alina Avaler Garcia and Mary Madrigal, our interpreters. And in the back, in the tech room over there, we have Carrie Robertson, Tony Rincon, and Rahazi Zavala, our technical support technicians. Our report of closed session actions taken. The first, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation. In closed session, the board reviewed and considered an underpayment of wages claim involving a certificated employee number 111-32024-02. The board has determined to enter into an underpayment agreement to pay the employee $8,064.96 to satisfy the claim and correct any alleged underpayment. The motion was made by Trustee Magalhaes and seconded by Trustee Lopez, and it was a 4-0 vote. Next, in closed session, the board voted 4-0 to suspend classified employee number 111-32024-01 without pay for 1 day. The motion was made by Dr. Magalhaes and seconded by Trustee Lopez, and once again, it was a 4-0 vote. Can I please get an adoption of the agenda?
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Lopez. Can I get a second? Seconded by Trustee Philbeck. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. All right. And starting off this evening, our special order of business, recognition of district-wide distinguished fourth grade creative writing project winners. Ms. Katie Hernandez, our curriculum specialist. Followed by Audrey Lujan, our head librarian with the Anaheim Public Library. Carol Latham, our project chair and president with Altrusa International Foundation of Anaheim Incorporated. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good evening, Board President Relas, members of the board, scholars, parents, family, district staff, and community. Welcome. This evening, we're here to recognize 23 outstanding fourth grade authors whose creative writing has truly impressed us in this year's Anaheim Elementary School District's Creative Writing Project. This creative writing project is a district-wide opportunity for all of our fourth graders to share their unique voices. The Creative Writing Project began back in 2014 through a collaboration with Altrusa International of Anaheim, an organization of dedicated volunteers who are committed to meaningful community service and promoting literacy across Orange County. Together with Anaheim Public Library, we have created a partnership that supports literacy in our district. The theme for this project is Finding My Voice, Telling My Story, and it encourages our students to share stories that mean something to them, whether they write about overcoming challenges, celebrating achievements, or honoring important people in their lives. Each piece is unique. As you can imagine, selecting just one winner from each school was not an easy task. A dedicated panel including a school administrator, a PTA member, one of our library media assistants, a representative from Altrusa and the Anaheim Public Library reviewed each entry. Tonight, we are to honor those chosen student authors whose voices and stories stood out and who inspired us all. I want to hand the microphone over to our curriculum specialist, Katie Hernandez, who oversees this project, and will introduce our incredible partners to you as well so they can say a few words.
Hello, thank you very much. I am very honored to be able to read many of these essays as well and see the amazing authors that we have in Anaheim. But you don't need to hear from me. I would like to introduce our community partners who are going to share a few more words with you. Ms. Carol Latham, would you like to start?
To the President of the Board of Trustees, students, teachers, principals, parents, community. I had to kind of just take a breath because this project is something that I am extremely passionate about. And when we started, we never envisioned that we would be in all 23 schools, and the last 2 years adding 2 additional Anaheim schools in the Centralia School District. So 25 distinguished writers were part of the winning panel for this project. And so I get a little emotional about it because it is a project that's very near and dear to my heart. As you've heard, this project started 10 years ago. It started in one school, and we were fortunate, the Altrusa Club, to partner with the Anaheim Public Library because they had a multi-use library at Ponderosa. So Ponderosa was our first school. And then over the years, we added additional ones, and now, as I said, we're in 23 Anaheim elementary schools. This project allows students to share their stories, make sure that they are able to experience through reading and writing things that are important to them. It is critical, I think, that we encourage our students to read and to express themselves through writing. And I am so excited to share the opportunity this project has provided with our students. Some of the stories are funny, some of them are poignant, some of them are heartbreaking, but they're all an opportunity for us to learn from these students things that are important to them, for us to hear their voices and to know that their voices matter, that what they share, someone listens, someone hears it. And so I'm really excited to be here this evening to celebrate with the 23 distinguished writers from the Anaheim Elementary School District. And I would like to share a poem that I a quote that I came across recently that sort of sums up a lot of what this project is all about. And it says, it's a quote by Neil Gaiman, and he says, "The one thing that you have that nobody else has is you. Your voice, your mind, your story, your vision, that's you. So write and draw and build and play and dance and live as only you can. Because whatever it is that you do is important. And if you're not doing it, something large is going to be missing in this world. Keep writing, keep reading." Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm Audrey Lujan, your city librarian. It's really tough to speak after Carol has spoken, okay? So I don't know what I'm going to say now, because whatever I was going to say just went way over my head. The most important thing, I think, and I'm going to say this to the parents and the grandparents and the siblings of the scholars, you have created an environment that fosters the love of reading and literacy, and that is why your scholar is here tonight. That's right. Do that again. You're right. You are right. And just a little teaser for the parents, grandparents, and siblings that contributed, helped, fostered, encouraged the writing the scholars presented and won with. I'm going to ask a question, and I'm just going to pick someone from the group to give me the answer. I'm already looking at her. Okay. A very prolific author is David Baldacci. Okay. He's been writing for years. So this is going to be the question, and I'm going to come over and ask you. Okay. How much do you, and any answer is good. Any answer is good. So don't be shy, because you're an author, all right? Don't be shy. How much do you think David Baldacci earns in a year? Are you one of our scholars today? Okay, close, but he makes $8 million a year. Okay, parents, did you hear that? $8 million. So do you think you want to keep writing? Huh? Parents, do you think you want your scholars to keep writing? Oh, I didn't hear that. Okay, all right, you got it. And I'll tell you what, then you just pick out your mansion, wherever, or multi-mansions, right? Now, in order to be a good writer, you have to be a reader, like Carol said. Okay, so how many of you have library cards with the Anaheim Public Library? Raise your hands. Oh, I know there's more of you. Come on, don't be shy. All right, there you go. See? Readers succeed. You got a lot of spirit over there. Okay, I like her. Yeah, so anyways, please continue to encourage the scholars to continue to read. Come to the Anaheim Public Library, either check out books or download. We have downloadable books as well. And continue to write. Now, parents, this is really important. We are celebrating your scholars. But you need to, we're going to do a round of applause for parents, right? Okay, as your city librarian, I probably should end with some literary quote like Carol did. No, I'm not going to, because I don't have one. I didn't come prepared. Congratulations, everybody.
One of the things that we both forgot to mention is that all of the essays are compiled into a zine, and those zines are available at all of the public libraries. It will be available in every school library as well. And so all of these distinguished writers are now published authors.
I can't let Carol have the last word, okay, because I didn't come with a literary quote. All right, the other thing, you're being honored here today, but sometime in January or February, the Anaheim City Council will be recognizing you as well at the City Council meeting on the dais with the mayor and City Council. That date is yet to be determined, so as soon as I get that arranged with the mayor and City Council, I will let Katie know, and she'll send out letters to all the parents. Okay? Thank you.
So before Katie reads the names, if we can have the board come up to the front to recognize our authors. And I did want to tell our authors and our parents, this is the first time on behalf of the board, these medals are given to student scholars, people that we recognize here on the board. You guys are the first ones. So we want to make sure that you know that you only get this medal if you get to come here to the board meeting, right? So know that. Nobody else gets it unless they come here. And you get to have it on behalf of our board today. So thank you.
All right, I am very excited to read the names of our authors. When you hear your name called, please go ahead and come up to receive your swag bag of fun, and then remain up here so we can take a picture with all of our board members. All right, our first author from Clara Barton Elementary is Ni Nguyen. It's hard to go first. Now every kid knows what to do. All right, and Nee, you can go ahead and wait right down there and your other friends will join you. All right, next from Thomas Edison, we have Jonathan Green. All right, from Benjamin Franklin, we have Natalie Castro. From Gower, we have Amy Zatina Villafuerte. From Gwynn School, we have Carolina Sanchez. From Patrick Henry, we have Alexa Gutierrez. From Thomas Jefferson, Jackson Valentine. There it is. From Juarez Elementary, Gemma Nava. From Abraham Lincoln, Fernando Martinez. Where is he? Is he here? We will make sure he get. Oh, here he is here. Excellent. From Loera Dia Contractor. I apologize, it's Dia Contractor. Apologies, I'm glad you corrected me, thank you. I even called her school to ask and I somehow still managed to make a mistake. All right, from Madison Elementary, Sarah Lee. Mann Elementary School, I will Natalie Rangel. I'll give them a chance to catch up. We will give them a moment to receive their medal and prize. From John Marshall, I believe we already heard from her, Kaylee Alvarez. From Olive Street, Natalie Hernandez. From Orange Grove, Sofia Borja. From Ponderosa, Giovanni Villaseñor. Congratulations. From Price, Frida Andrade. From Paul Revere, Dalia Cardenas. From Roosevelt, Elijah Bay Orlando. And our author was unable to join us, but as you can see, he is here in picture and spirit. Thank you to his administrator and teacher. And you'll notice he also is up on the slide. We do have some pictures of him. So he is with us in spirit tonight. From Betsy Ross, Noah Pacheco. From Stoddard, Samara Nicolette Dagdag. They're going to go ahead and direct you once you head over there. Good question. This student was also unable to be here tonight, but we want to ensure that she is recognized. From Sunkist Elementary, Indabella Quesada. And finally, from Westmont Elementary, Alina Killian. I have another error. It is Culian. I want to make sure kids get recognized correctly.
So you're probably wondering what's in the bag. Yes? Okay. So, all kinds of wonderful things. They are certificates from elected officials serving Anaheim. They are books. There are journals that are inscribed with all kinds of wonderful memories and books. But the one thing that I know that a lot of the students will really love is this. And you'll notice that on the back, all of the logos for the partners, the Anaheim Elementary School District, the Centralia Elementary School District, Altrusa of Anaheim, and the Anaheim Public Library on the bottom. It's really exciting when I go to some of the schools and I see previous winners and they're wearing their t-shirt, their hoodies. So, yes, 10 years. Okay. Okay.
I got it. Thank you. You go be in the picture. Oh, okay. I was trying to.
while you're getting settled, I wanted to just share a little story of something that happened recently. I was in a store, and this young cashier looked at me and she said, "Are you Miss Carol from the writing project?" And I said, "Yes, I was." And she said, "I was at Ponderosa, and I was one of the winners at Ponderosa. And as a result of the project, she is now a student at Cal State Fullerton doing education because she wants to be a teacher."
All right, great. All right, next special order of business is our recognition of board member Dr. Jose Paulo Macalis by Jesse Chavarria, our superintendent.
Good evening once again, board members, parents, students, community. This evening I have the privilege of saying a few words for one of our board members and the great service that he has provided to our district. So, since Dr. Jose Paulo Macalis joined the Anaheim Elementary School Board in 2016.
Why don't we go ahead and take one moment so that if you received your certificate and you want to leave, no problem. But if you want to watch this, we're going to take a short 5-minute break after he presents right now about my esteemed colleague. All right. Mr. Chavarria, please go ahead and take it away.
All right, let me start all over again. So tonight I have the privilege of honoring Dr. Jose Paulo Macalis for his 8 years of dedicated service to the Anaheim Elementary School District. Since joining the Anaheim Elementary School Board in 2016, Dr. Macalis has been a true force for good. A passionate advocate who lifts everyone around him and always seeks the best for our students, staff, and community. Dr. Macalis' legacy is embedded into so many of our district's achievements. His support and advocacy for the arts education helped Anaheim Elementary earn the Best Communities for Music Education award 6 years in a row, demonstrating our commitment to nurturing creativity in our schools. In 2023, his efforts were further recognized by the California School Boards Association, as well as the Orange County Music and Arts. You know, they were recognized along with the rest of the board. They received the Advocate Award. Throughout his service at Anaheim Elementary, Dr. Macalis championed initiatives that reflect our district's commitment to equity, inclusion, and cultural understanding. He was instrumental in passing significant resolutions, such as the Anti-Racist Pedagogy and Activities Resolution in 21-22, and the Culturally Responsive Awareness and Teaching Resolution in 2019-20. He also proudly supported the Larry Itliong Day Resolution in 2017-18. Dr. McCullough's support in championing the resolution serves as a powerful reminder of the ongoing importance of justice, equality, in the fight for workers' rights and values that we hold dear to our district. Dr. McCullough was also a key figure in Anaheim Elementary's CREST, stands for Culturally Responsive Ethnic Studies Task Force, from 21 through 24, a program aimed at deepening cultural understanding in curriculum. In addition, his dedication to dual language education helped our district Spanish dual language immersion program earn the prestigious CSBA's Golden Bell Award in 2023. Most recently, thanks to Dr. McCullough's dedication to bilingual education, Horace Mann Elementary School was honored with the prestigious CAVE Seal of Excellence Award for its outstanding dual immersion program. With this recognition, we now have a total of 4 schools in our district honored by CAVE. This is Juarez, Lincoln, Price, and now Horace Mann. Dr. McCullough's continued support has been instrumental in helping our dual immersion programs grow and gain well-deserved recognition. In addition, Dr. McCullough has been part of 5 groundbreaking ceremonies recently at Juarez, Revere, Edison, Sunkist, and Roosevelt Elementary Schools, where he helped mark the beginning of exciting new chapters for each school community there. Dr. McCullough, as a board member during the challenges of the pandemic, you were a constant source of support and encouragement, helping guide Anaheim Elementary through an unprecedented time with compassion and resilience. Your leadership during those years made a lasting impact, ensuring that our students, staff, and families received the support they needed to navigate challenges and succeed. Dr. McCullough, your vision and dedication have left a lasting impact on Anaheim Elementary. You have done an incredible job, and we're so grateful to you. On behalf of the board, our cabinet, staff, and the entire Anaheim Elementary family, thank you for 8 years of service. We wish you the best in your next chapter, and we do want to recognize you with this award that basically says, thank you for the 8 years that you have provided us. As you can see, you have left us, right, with a legacy of some wonderful things that our families, our scholars will appreciate forever. So thank you so much. And before I turn it over to Dr. McCullough, I believe we have a couple of guests that want to say a few words. Our former superintendent, right? You have a few words, Dr. Downing?
Good evening, everybody, and good evening, Anaheim community. I'm happy to be back to just share with you all how special Dr. McCullough is. You know, from day one of my journey here in Anaheim, you welcomed me, you invited me to come out to learn the community, and you made me promise that together we would make sure that Anaheim benefits from the richness and the diversity in this area. Throughout the pandemic, you were a beacon of light, and what's most important is you care about students, staff, and the community, and no one can ever have a conversation with you without you checking on them to make sure that they are doing well and to make sure that our amazing AESD staff is getting the tools that they need to be successful. You are truly a transformational leader, and it has been an honor to see you serve the community of Anaheim. And I think we're just all so proud of you, and know that your next chapter is going to be bright, and you're going to continue to make a difference in the lives of kids and the world. So congratulations, Dr. McCallis.
Need my water. First and foremost, I'd like to address, my community, our community. A lot of us, we were immigrants that came from the Philippines. All my aunties and uncles, and Anaheim Elementary was our home, right? A lot of the opportunities that were given us, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Anaheim Elementary. To my amazing community, I love you, and thank you so much for believing in me, for allowing me to serve 8 amazing years for you, for our kids. There's so many challenges in public education. And I firmly believe that with the board, with our cabinet, with our amazing teachers, with all faculty and staff, that we were able to work together to tackle and fight those challenges for all of our kids. It's been such an honor serving you, and in the end of the day, regardless of what happens in my future, I'm from West Anaheim. I'm going to continue to serve in any capacity. In Lakesh, tú eres mi otro yo. You are my other me. Second, I'd like to address my amazing family. To be board members and to dedicate so much time and effort and hours, it's a lot, it takes a toll on our family, it takes a toll on us. Tonight's my sister's birthday, and I just want to say happy birthday to my family. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for your patience and your understanding. I miss all the things that I've missed, but in the end, I'll make it up to you, I promise. And so just thank you, family, just for being with me and being there for me this whole time. To the amazing board and cabinet, including Dr. Mary Grace in the back, and our amazing superintendent, our former superintendent, Dr. Downing. All of these things we've accomplished together, right? It wasn't easy, and we haven't agreed on everything, right? But we did our duty. It has been the greatest honor serving with all of you these past 8 years, through many of the, through the pandemic, through our challenges with charter schools, and there's going to be many challenges to come. And know that regardless of where I am, I'm just a phone call away. So please, just call, and I'll be there for the district. I also want to make a few comments to the next board member. This is something that Trustee Philbeck always says. First of all, congratulations. But know this, that you serve the seat. The seat does not serve you. Serve it with love, serve it with humility. To all the amazing teachers and faculty and staff, thank you so much for all of your hard work and dedication. I want to end with something by Lisa Delpit, who said, treat all of your kids like you're their own kids, right? I wish Anaheim Elementary the best of luck, and again, if you ever need me, I'll be there. I also want to thank all of our, community partners. We wouldn't also have been able to do all this amazing work without you, and thank you so much.
And on that, I'm going to go ahead and recess us for 7 minutes. We'll return at 7:20.
I left my car keys up here.
So far, so good? Well, at this point, it's kind of, I think Ryan should
All right, 30 seconds until we go back. All right.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. That was great.
Thanks, man.
All right, I call us back into session at 7:21. News and updates. Parent leadership groups updates. We have none. Association updates. We have none. District news and updates. Belinda Gordillo, Communications Coordinator, will present the district news and updates this evening.
Okay, good evening, President Relas, Board of Education, Superintendent Chavarria, and Cabinet, and guests. My name is Belinda Gordillo, and I'm excited to share the news and updates. Okay. Seems like a long time ago, but on October 9th, AESD hosted its annual Walk and Roll to School Day. This event promotes physical activity and safety for our students, and all of our students participated from each school, and we want to thank our local Anaheim Police Department for the support. They came out and they made sure everybody was safe, and they passed out stickers and gave everybody high fives, and it was a great morning. Noise. And then for October, the most improved attendance was Olive Street. We actually surprised them yesterday with the treat, a paleta treat, and we had, our students were super excited about their recognition. So congratulations to Olive Street. And on October 26th, the Anaheim Fall Festival Parade took place. We had 700 participants, including AESD Showcase Band, the Anaheim Succeeds Baile Folklorico Group, and Lincoln's Drumline Team. And of course, we had several schools that participated, and our entire Board of Education, our cabinet members, and so many staff participated. So it was a great day for all. And then on November 1st, we had a non-student day. It was a professional development day for AESD, and all of departments, whether they were from the district office or schools, participated in a whole day of learning and growth. So we want to thank our leadership for putting together such fun workshops and very inspirational for everybody. And then also on November 1st, it was a Day of the Dead event, or Dia de los Muertos, in downtown Anaheim. Special thanks to many of our schools who participated. They put up beautiful altars. So a lot of our PTAs were involved with this, and it was just a beautiful way to showcase this beautiful tradition. And on November 1st as well, it was a busy day that day. And November 1st, we had our Teachers of the Year banquet and dinner, and we want to congratulate Mrs. Regina Calvente. She teaches 6th grade over at Marshall, and Mrs. Irwin, she's a special education teacher at Jefferson. She teaches a couple of grades, actually. So we want to thank both of these amazing teachers for everything that they do. And we had our Board of Education come and support them, as well as our cabinet members and also their family. So it was a great evening for these two amazing educators. And on November 4th, AESD participated in the UCI Dia de los Muertos event. And this is the second annual event that they've participated in. And we had performances from our mariachi team from Stoddard and our baile folklorico team from Stoddard and Madison. And it was just a beautiful performance from our students. And on November 5th, it was a parent field trip to Mendez Tribute Monument in Westminster. This event was a collaboration between our school family and community engagement team, as well as Miss Laura Houston, who is an AESD TOSA, teacher on special assignment. And we had approximately 30 parents participate and learn a little bit about this event that took place in the 40s, where there was segregation between students. So Latinos in particular, the case was that Latinos were sent to remedial schools, and they were not allowed to attend just any school that they wanted to or even belonged to in their district. So they took Westminster District to court, and because of this young lady, Miss Mendez, they won, and so from then on, things changed even for African Americans. So it was a huge turning point, and what made this field trip so special, I was there myself, and what I witnessed, parents really enjoyed being there, but what made it so special that it was on November 5th, which was the day that we voted, right? So it was a great day for everybody. And I just want to say thank you, and if anybody has any questions for me? No? Okay, thank you.
No questions, but just a comment of the park you visited about, the Sylvia Mendez and all that. I mean, that's super significant and just so tied closely to history because of the fact that a lot of it came from a result of the Japanese internment that took place here because of the Americans fearful of what was going on after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and that set off a domino effect. So it is definitely worth noting, like the historical aspects of how everything is connected and how all that really in a lot of ways stemmed from the knee-jerk reaction of just fear, Yeah. But that park itself is fantastic and it's very memorable, and it plays a big part in our history.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your words. It was very revealing. If you're able to go one day to go see, it's very educational, and you can actually listen. Well, we had translators there as well, but you can read about the different things that happened during those times, and they have a lot of nice pictures and visuals. So if you ever have the opportunity, I would say, definitely stop by there. Okay, thank you.
All right, great. Moving on to public speakers. Speakers on agenda or non-agenda items. Do I have any speakers? Nope. All right. Moving on then to our superintendent's report. 2024 state test results. Rhonda Robertson, our Director of Assessment, Translation, and Accountability. Welcome, Ms. Robertson.
Thank you. Good evening. All right, I'm here to provide you with our annual EdCode required presentation of our state test scores to the board that include our district, our grade, and our school level results, and our student group level results. So we just had our public release in October. So the test scores statewide are widely available, but we've had them in our hands since late June, early July, and have been using them ever since we had our hands on them. So I wanted to share with you how we've been using them and with whom. So on July 30th, we had a wonderfully powerful day where every school's leadership team came and did a big data dive. We call it the PLC, the Professional Learning Community Professional Development Day. And it was a full day where every site's leadership team, their principal, vice principal, a representative from each grade level, as well as some special education staff from each school were invited. And as we displayed our district level data on our large Prometheans, they all had the mirror images of their school level data and were able to analyze it with us right then and there and look at that big satellite data picture of our summative state test scores and then do planning around how they were going to respond and what map and more street level formative data they planned to look at throughout the year. So it was a great day of analysis and planning for the school leadership teams. We've also shared our data with our LCAP committee and our DAC-DLAC committees, which are broader groups of community partners that include parents. And at each of those committees, we shared the data, but also asked for their input on what's going well and what suggestions do they have for improving our student outcomes from their unique perspectives. So each time we share that data with a specific committee, we take that input and document it right there within the presentation, so the next committee it goes to sees what other people said and they add on to it. So we've been sharing this data, and this is our final stop. All right, so in Anaheim Elementary, we've been working on developing shared leadership for the last few years. And each of these little sticky notes represents a different group of community partners with whom we provide an opportunity to give voice and shared leadership. And this is stemming from the work of our Jay Westover, whose book we read as a leadership team, and he came and consulted with us for several days. And so we've Anaheimed his work and by adding more groups to it. But the idea is that there's crossover within each of the groups. Some of the teacher PLC teams or student success team members are also on the school site council or also on the school leadership team. So the idea is that these teams of community partners, the information can flow both ways. And that's how we get buy-in and how we make real cultural change. And then on top, so those are the shared leadership groups. And then we have all these different continuous cycles of inquiry that the groups are looking at to refine our practices, constantly be looking at fresh data sets, looking at implementation data, talking about instruction, so that we are tightly in tune with what our current students and seats needs are, and that information can travel back up and down so that we're moving forward together as one. So in this regard, we're really focusing in on literacy for right now. And so that's gonna be a culture shift that takes some time to travel through those groups. All right, before I share the data, I always wanna ground it with which kids are we looking at? Which kids participated in the state test last year? So last year's 3rd through 6th graders, just as a reminder, they were in kinder through 3rd grade for that distance learning year. So you could see in what grades their little elementary school disruption occurred. And that's to help ground us in the context with which our students were assessed. So here's our state test results. Students can achieve a level 4, that's exceeding standard, 3, meeting standard, 2 is near standard, and a level 1 is below standard. And on the state's website, they put in a big number the percent of students at a level 3 or 4, the percent of students meeting or exceeding standard. But when you really look at what the levels mean, the level 3s and the level 4s, they for sure are accessing grade level content, and they are responding to higher level DOK questions and exhibiting critical thinking on those high stakes assessments. Our level 2 students are accessing grade level content and comprehending grade level content. They're just not responding to those higher level DOK questions. It's our level 1 students for whom we have the most urgency around. So this, because they're not accessing the grade level content or is showing that they are. And so this is showing 3 years of results for each subject. 3 years of results for literacy, 3 for math, Spanish, which our dual immersion, Spanish dual immersion students participate in, and then the 5th grade science. You see boxes around our latest math and science because those are the 2 subject areas where we made growth. In literacy, we basically stayed the same for the last 2 years, as well as our California Spanish assessment. The state came out with their press release, and the state overall improved about 1% in literacy and 1% in math. And the most growth statewide was with the socioeconomically disadvantaged student group that grew like 1.7% in language arts and 2% in math. So even statewide, we're not talking a ton of growth this year on our 2024 test results. We'll get a little deeper into it, but that was the big picture. So looking more closely at literacy, this is where we're building the urgency around getting more students reading, because based on this, 48% of our, about half of our students in 3rd grade, you could see, are still at that level 1 with literacy. And so looking at those level 1s, those are our students who are not accessing content. So this slide, I should have told you, it's showing 3 years of data for each grade. 3 years for 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. And that box is around our 3rd graders, because what we're seeing with our state data is very similar to our local data, and that's that our younger students are starting to outperform the cohorts that came before them, but not our older students. Not yet. Okay, so this is our literacy results, where you can see that improvement in 3rd grade, but that was the only grade that really made any gains on last year's test for literacy. This is our student group results, and that's kind of what the state website looks like, with a big percent of students at meeting standard or exceeding standard. And you could see below each proportion whether we grew or not. And the only student group that grew in literacy, this is where my glasses, I always forget my glasses when I come do this. I mean, I don't wear glasses, that's ridiculous. Our student group that grew was our students with disabilities group. Is that what this is showing? Yeah, our students with disabilities group grew, which is fantastic, because that's an area of focus. This year, in the area of literacy, we're taking really deeper looks into the performance of our emergent bilinguals and our students with disabilities, as well as those students duly identified with a disability who are also emergent bilingual. So we're pleased that that group made growth. Okay, and our highest performing group was our reclassified former emergent bilinguals. We are obligated to share the results by school with you at a public board meeting, so this is our view of that. In this view, we combined the level 3s and 4s into that green column, so you could see the blue column is the proportion of students achieving level 1, the gray is level 2, the green is the 3s and 4s. And then over to the further to the right, you could see a gray count of students at each school. That's the count of students who participated in the assessment. And then finally, we were kind of looking to see if there was a correlation between attendance rates and test scores achievement. And for sure, our students who are chronically absent do not perform at the levels that our students who attend regularly do. So this is the test results listed by school alphabetically. Okay. This report, the way it's designed in Tableau when you're on it digitally, allows you to do all kinds of sorting and filtering. So schools have had access to these results since July, and we've been looking at them thoroughly. So this one is just literacy. Are you ready for me to move on? Yep. Okay. Because language and literacy go hand in hand, I thought this would be the appropriate place to put our LPAC results for our English Learner Performance Assessment of California. And we did not make gains on our LPAC last year. You could see we actually increased the number of students in a level 1 and a level 2. So as far as the LPAC performance level goes, a level 1 student uses words and phrases. A level 2 student is more on the basic language, like the BICS. The level 3 and 4 students on the LPAC can access grade level academic content. So that's the rough descriptors, the LPAC test score report that parents get. So parents of level 1 students get that information, like based on this, your child is at the words and phrases communication acquisition level. Despite that, we actually maintained our reclassification, and we increased it slightly. We went from an 11.4 reclassification rate to an 11.9 reclassification rate, even though our scores dipped. And that's due to the hard work of our teachers and our support staff at the last week of school, making sure that everything was in place for our students as far as that evidence of learning. Oh my gosh, I have a friend. Evidence of learning. I took a shower. So we receive our LPAC results at the last week of May, with about 1 week before students are leaving us. And we work hard that week that as many students who achieve a level 4 get reclassified before they leave us. So that 11%, 9% of that happened the last week of school. And we're expecting that again this year. Okay, moving to math. In math, this is 3 years of data for each of the grade levels. And you can see that again, our third graders are the ones who have made the gains. And the rest of our grade levels stayed about where they were in math. This is our student group results for math. And in math, we had more student groups improve, with the highest being socioeconomically disadvantaged and emergent bilingual. I adjusted my numbers. I want to make sure. Oh, so on this one, it's reclassified. Yeah, that made the most improvement. Our internal data didn't match the state's release. It was slightly different, so I adjusted what's displayed for you. to match the state release. Okay, so those are our student group results for math, and then here's our results by school.
Rhonda, let me stop you right there for a second. You know, so you mentioned about, like, for example, and I'm just going to take LPAC just because of the fact that a lot of us, like, when we were growing up, didn't realize the significance of this test and would kind of brush it aside. And year after year after year, even when you go into junior high and high school, you're being called out to take this assessment, you know, and people don't understand why, and you as a student don't understand why. What are we doing? And that's great that we're able to reclassify a lot of them and whatnot. What are we doing for those students the following year that remain with us? Like, because there's a lot that we can do, and we should get them reclassified as soon as possible. Like, what is our action plan, I guess? What are we doing in regards to opportunities that we have for extended learning opportunities? What are we doing for Saturday academies? What are we doing for ideas to get them to that next level while they're still with us?
I love that question, yes. So we have taken our emergent bilingual data and highlighted that reclassification data. We have some new data sets that show by years in US at what point our students are reclassifying or not, and how they're leaving us as sixth graders. So we started with our principal PLC group, and we've taken it to LCAP as well. It was LCAP, right? And that was a distinct data set we showed in the context of, hey, we have these LCAP goals that are related to our emergent bilinguals, and we put the data of how we've been doing the last 3 years in front of our teams and asked them that question. What is working and what more can we be doing? And so we're in the process of gathering all of those different ideas to make some change. But we're getting that information into the hands of the schools as well. And so a lot of the tips I hear are our bilingual testing assistants. There's one at most schools and some are split. They go into the classrooms and are introduced to the teachers, and they get to know the kids before they get pulled for assessing. So having that relationship piece, and we keep our bilingual testing assistants at the same schools. We don't move them around unless we have to. So they have that trust with the kiddos, and they really get to know the kiddos. Goal setting with the students, teachers and students. This is what you got last year. Here's what we need you to be. This is how we're gonna make it. This morning? We did the coach meeting, and we shared with our instructional coaches all kinds of resources that are free around the LPAC interim assessments that can be used instructionally to plan teaching, to give students opportunities to interact with the LPAC rigor, but without having to like log into a test and be taking another test. So we did that work this morning. So many ideas have been generated from, I might be forgetting some, from the LCAP committee, but yes.
And
oh, we have an EB TOSA team too that's been really successful, thank you. We have 4 emergent bilingual TOSAs paid for out of Title III funding, and they are strategically placed at 4 different schools, and I think 5 schools actually, because one is sharing Henry and Orange Grove students, I think. They work specifically with older emergent bilingual students, and they have had a really good success rate this is their 3rd year.
awesome. And anywhere in that equation, where's the parent component?
Yes. So at DACA-DLAC, it was actually a parent idea to have a magnet. You've probably seen the pathway to reclassification magnet that we have. Every emergent bilingual should have 1 or 2. And the idea of that one is it has for every grade level like a little step on this pathway. And it says at each grade level what the child needs to get for literacy and for on the LPAC to reclassify. And so each year the parent can write with a marker here's where we are now. And the idea was to not have it somewhere where they wanted it on the fridge so they wouldn't forget about it. So we do inform our parents. We inform them on our identification of emergent bilingual process. We keep getting better every year at that piece. But yeah, so that's where we are on the parent side.
And can I add as well, as you know, literacy, that's why, Ms. Robinson explained that literacy is our focus. Where we find that with our emergent bilinguals, the reason sometimes they don't get reclassified is because they're struggling in the reading component, right? So our focus for literacy is in everything that we do. So for example, yesterday, Laura Houston did an art activity with the DLAC parents, and after they did the art activity, she had questions, and she said, here are some of the questions you can involve your children with. So have your child pretend they're in that scenery after they draw it, and have them explain to you what would they do and things like that, because language is a very strong component, like it was shared earlier, as we did our authors, right? Writing and reading, speaking, it's all kind of interconnected. So we have talked to our Ed Services team that even if you're teaching music, there should be a literacy component. You're learning about different musicians or different instruments, so you can learn the history. You can do a 1 or 2 sentence summary, right? And you can read some of those things as you're learning music as well. So making that the top priority this year to get our students to practice either that language or those reading and writing skills as much as they can.
Awesome. So I just wanted to share an example of a triangulation piece that we've used with multiple stakeholder groups. And this is to showcase that when we're looking at student outcome data, there's always more to that story. And so this is our continuous attempt at looking at multiple measures and giving people more context before they have those conversations at their tables or with their stakeholder groups about what we need to do to change. So this is an example that shows our student outcome data, but it also shows our parent, staff, and student perception data, where they're saying about what their learning is, how they're feeling about class, and then our OPAL implementation walkthrough data and what we're seeing there about does instruction connect to students' home lives, or are we building on things that they're interested in when we're teaching them? So this is an example of an activity where we look at this and then we have conversations about how can we improve our student outcomes. And where are we right now? So we've been showing last year's data to you, but we are using our local assessment results to pay close attention to our literacy and math. And you could see where we started with our August baseline on our STAR reading and STAR early literacy. 41% of our students were reading at grade level in August when they came to us, and in October we're up to 45%. We also made almost a 5% gain on our 1st through 6th grade math there. So this is an example of a slide that our principal PLCs and our DAC/DLAC groups are using, and their templates have a spot for December and a spot for April and May too. So they're continually watching that growth and monitoring that, and there's space that has been built in for those continuous conversations. And I'm going to hand it to Yadira.
Thank you, Rhonda. And we just really want to end with all of this information and what we are doing, a little of the conversation that we're having. What are we doing now to ensure that we're keeping literacy at the forefront in our instruction and in what we do? not only in ed services, but also throughout all the departments. These are conversations we're also having in cabinet so that we're all talking the same conversation so that our students, especially those that we're targeting, which are our emergent bilinguals and our students with disability. The literacy movement started about 2 years ago with the letters training, which mirrors what the call to action that our state superintendent is also kind of pushing forth to us to ensure that we are training our teachers with equipping them with the skill set to be able to ground the work of the students in the classroom. So our letters literacy training has been phenomenal. Within the past 2 years, we've trained 71 teachers that are fully trained. And now with everyone working together, it's been a huge little puzzle. We have teachers coming on Saturdays, teachers coming on Wednesdays, teachers that are getting released by our curriculum specialists and our ed services staff to ensure that we can get any teacher who is ready for it trained. So that's 217 teachers that we're training currently. So you could see the drastic difference. Now, this is a 2-year commitment. This training it's different because you receive information, you are training, and then you are applying it in your classroom as a true practitioner. So you can't just go for a week and be like, I'm trained. You have to learn, apply, reflect, go back. So it truly is an inquiry cycle of application. And actually, I was just meeting with the director of curriculum administration, Maria Villegas, and we were having this conversation that one of our expert teachers, she's in her 30th year, had this at Marshall just shared like, this is the best training I've ever been to. The reason being is that I could apply what I'm learning and I see a difference in my students. So that's pretty powerful because that is what we need. I mean, Rhonda just shared that our 3rd graders are outperforming our 6th graders, right? Our 5th graders. And by equipping our earliest learners, it will only help us get stronger. So that is truly the movement that we need. And it requires everyone holding hands to ensure that all our teachers are trained in this phenomenal skill set so that they can see the differences in their classroom. We've also, when Rhonda shared about the shared leadership, we're revisiting kind of like our product from having Jay with us for a couple of days, which was our instructional framework. We created the AESD instructional framework, and now we're looking at it and saying, which is our high priority strategy we're gonna focus on for the next 6 months. So tomorrow at our CIA meeting, we're going to discuss a small group reading instruction in Tier 1. Which our teachers do this. This is part of the letters training. This is a conversation that we're having, but how can we ensure that our students are receiving what they need in Tier 1 instruction? Our principal PLCs are focused on this instructional strategy. When we meet with our principals once or twice a month, when Superintendent Chavarria is meeting with them, we're discussing literacy. What do you need? How can we help you? Our November 1st Professional Development Day, the feedback came from them of what they needed ed services from ed services to be able to lead their staff. Most of them chose small group reading as the literacy focus for that. So that's the reason why we're moving in that direction. Our parent engagement team is completely tied into this as well. So we're sharing literacy strategies. Not only is our ECE department, Linda Reese and Kim Govea, are leading literacy training with our parents, with their preschool and TK learners, but we're also modeling literacy strategies. Yesenia Navarro has been doing the cuentos familiares with our parents, how in the morning and in the evening. We have over like 60 parents participating right now. Their graduation is scheduled to be next week, where they're learning how to read together with their child and create almost like a little scrapbook, little fun activity based on the books that they're reading together. So we're trying to do practical application things where a parent can come, learn, and apply right away. As DAC DLAC yesterday, as Superintendent Chavarria mentioned, when Laura Houston led an art lesson, then after she said, okay, now you have a landscape. What could you ask your child? Who would be a great character for this landscape? What do you think can happen next? Conversations like that just allow a parent to go, I can draw a picture with my child and then ask them a question. But really what we want to do is continue that literacy focus, because we know, just like anything, when you continue to focus on it, everything else will follow. So it's not that math, science, Spanish, everything works in alignment with literacy. And we really want to continue to have that through line so that every student is getting what they need. So those conversations are taking place. School, family, and community engagement, which is our parent component, is now under Ed Services as well. So all the directors and the coordinators, the multilingual coordinator and the coordinator of music and arts, Mark and Magali, are also part of those conversations. So we're all meeting together and discussing, how does literacy fall within my department and how do I push forward? So that is where we are right now. We wanted to end in a positive note because these last couple months, we have been really working diligently. And although our scores do mirror state of California, we want to do more because we know our students are capable of it. And it's just those little alignments and those little tweaks, because what the data team, what Rhonda and her team do, that they can like decipher and dig and find the why in a pile of A's is beautiful. So we just have to continue to learn that, learn how to use that, so we can give our principals the tools to lead their teachers. Any questions?
Questions? No questions, just a couple comments. First, I've worked in, this in high school for many, many years, 17 years actually. And, I've worked with a wide array of different levels of students, and it is always that level of questioning and getting students to think at a higher level, the depths of knowledge, and it goes back to this, and if it's not right there, I always used to refer to it as like, it's, on the page or it's off the page or, and whatnot. And that's hard, like even for students 14 years and older, if you haven't been taught that, it's all about the use of inquiry, So that's kudos to you guys. That's exciting. And I'm very excited to hear about how it is also being applied in all content areas, because it is, that's significant, the idea of literacy throughout. But I do just want to also give a shout out for your November 1st professional development that you had and hearing from the principals and whatnot, because of the fact that, like, I'm just thinking of my own district that I'm, the trustee of, and, Juarez and Gwen are just right down the street from each other, a block away, but they're vastly different, and the student needs at each school site are vastly different. And so for us to basically just go and say, okay, this is what you need, and have it be blanket throughout, I don't think so. It's not a one size fits all, And so I really appreciate you guys taking the time to talk with the principals there about the needs of their respective school sites, because if they should know, and what better person to ask, than their leadership at that school site. So I definitely applaud you guys for that. So
Thank you. Thank you. It was definitely a team effort. We took their feedback. We all worked together, created presentations, led the principals, and then our staff came out to support any principal that needed, and we were able to 100% match all their needs of what our 23 principals needed. So it was exciting.
And going back and Ms. Robertson, I was asking you, like, what are we doing with this? How are we going to reclassify and all this stuff? Everything that you're just talking about, that translates over to a lot of the different opportunities that we have with our students through the various programs that we have available here, And so to just keep encouraging our amazing teachers as they are, like to continue to push and use inquiry and ask, whatever it be, like, in an academic setting or like even in the, ELOP, having fun stuff. Okay, well, what would you think would happen? That's intense stuff there. But if kids are getting used to this and hearing this, it's exciting, lots of possibilities. So thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on to consent calendar. Items listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and are acted on by the board in one motion. There is no discussion of these items unless a member of the board, staff, or the public requests specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar. Are there any items at this time to be pulled? Trustee Philbeck? No. Trustee Lopez? Dr. McCallus?
Nope.
And I have none either. All right. May I have a motion then?
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Philbeck.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Lopez. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Carries 4-0. Moving on to action calendar. The Superintendent's Office. It is recommended the Board of Education receive for first reading revisions to the following board policies and administrative regulations.
So moved.
So moved by Dr. McCallus.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Lopez. Can I get any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Carries 4-0. It is recommended the Board of Education receive the draft January 2025 to June 2026 board meeting schedule for first reading revisions. The final schedule will be brought for approval at the December 18th, 2024 annual organizational board meeting. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Lopez. Can I get a second?
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Philbeck. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Carries 4-0. It is recommended the Board of Education accept nominations for the California School Board Association Delegate Assembly for Region 15. CSBA delegates serve 2-year terms. Those elected in 2025 will serve a 2-year term beginning April 1st, 2025 through March 31st of 2027. Board Member Philbeck was re-elected in 2023, as is currently serving a 2-year term through March 31st, 2025.
So moved.
So moved by Dr. McCallus,
Second.
seconded by Trustee Lopez. Any discussion?
So I'm just a little confused about this. So can we nominate, Trustee Philbeck, you will continue to serve until 2025. It's asking us to nominate another board member?
It's accepting, if I might interject this, it's accepting, you can recommend people, I guess, for nominations. I believe the applications are due January 7th. So I'm not really sure if you have to actually nominate somebody to be able to turn in that application.
It's, the nomination is optional since Board Member Philbeck is current, and if you were to nominate her, she's actually would be up for re-election, right, because her term ends in March.
Oh,
Anyone who's not currently on the board, then they would be new nominees to serve a first 2-year term.
Then if Trustee Philbeck would like to continue, then I would like to nominate her to continue her service.
I am not certain at this point that I will be able to do that, so I would certainly say if any of you want to.
I'll pass.
Okay.
Nose goes. No
And,
thanks.
Superintendent, yeah, I mean.
I nominate one, yes.
Superintendent Chavarria, so like this could come back also in December or something.
Okay. Yeah, let's bring this back in December when we have the new board member on here. Maybe she will want to do it. Okay. So we don't have to vote then, right? It does? Okay, cool. Okay, moving on to educational services. There is none. SELPA, none. Human resources. It is recommended the Board of Education receive the draft 2025-26 school calendar for first reading. The final calendar will be brought for approval at the December 18th, 2024 board meeting. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Trustee McCallus.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee Lopez. Any discussion?
I just want to share that I'm incredibly proud of our district because we have always moved our calendars so that we can be in alignment with our feeder district. By doing this, it allows for our families, for our teachers, for everyone to go on vacation at the same time. And in the end of the day in our communities, you know that if one of the kids is gone, right, the other kid is going to be babysitting that kid, affecting our ADA. It's a trickle effect. This is just something I'm incredibly proud of. We are the most alignment that we have ever been in the history of this district. So that's another thing, another amazing thing that I'm very proud of.
Yep.
So let's continue to align as much as possible, and even with our other districts, right? That Magnolia, Centralia, Savannah, it only helps everyone. Thank you.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries 4-0. It is recommended the Board of Education approve the revised job description and recruitment for Transportation Services Coordinator. This position shall be moved from Range 1 to Range 9 of the Classified Management Salary Schedule, effective November 14th, 2024. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Lopez. Can I get a second? Seconded by Trustee Philbeck. Discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries 4-0. It is recommended the Board of Education ratify and approve the appointment of employee number 111-32024-03 to the position of Ponderosa Vice Principal effective October 28th, 2025. Can I get a motion? So moved by Trustee Philbeck.
Second.
Seconded by Trustee McAuliffe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries 4-0. Ms. Mellon. Whoa. Wake up. I saw you starting to drift off. Okay. Do it again.
Congratulations to Paola Payan. Paola came to AESD 6 years ago and has since worked at Ponderosa School as a kindergarten teacher, first grade DLI teacher, and currently as a TOSA instruction. Congratulations to Paola, new vice principal at Ponderosa School.
Congratulations, Paola. All right. Administrative services, none. And now it's board discussion, starting with Trustee Philbeck. Take it away.
Okay, before I start, I do need to add a quick clarification regarding the item CSBA delegate. There is nothing that says that somebody from this board has to do it, but I need to make the clarification that a new board member would not be eligible because they have to have served 2 years. So I just wanted to make sure that that information was out there correctly, that, yeah, there is a 2-year requirement before you can run.
Then if that is the case, you don't even need to agendize this next month. We're good. So let's go ahead and take a vote then, so it'll be done and we'll move on. Cool?
Sure.
Yeah. I did have a clarification. You said that it doesn't have to be a member of the board?
I mean, it doesn't mean that just if I don't do it, that one of you has to.
Okay, so we don't have to have.
You,
okay.
you can if you want to. And you know, Juan might be interested in that. That's the only hesitation I have, is maybe he would. But I'm just saying is don't think that somebody from every board has to be. There's only so many delegate positions open.
Well, you said that you were considering it. You're uncertain.
I'm not certain, but it's more likely that I will not.
Okay.
Well, we can agendize it then for next time.
I have to check on a few things.
Okay,
You know,
we'll
I have-
agendize it for next time, okay? We're not going to take a vote.
Okay.
Okay, moving on. Back to board discussion. Trustee Philbeck.
Okay. Well, since I was out last meeting with illness, I'm just going to do this quick but add a few things that I did want to mention from then. I attended Franklin PTA dance. Kudos to everyone that put that together. It was absolutely wonderful and a lot of fun. I attended the Roosevelt. There were Golden Bell validations with music teachers, and Anne Marie Randall, Trustee Randall Trejo attended that with me, and it was sort of a professional development day or two with all of the music teachers, and Trustee Randall Trejo was I guess what you would call the judge or the facilitator of that. So, and I believe it's okay to announce we did receive the Golden Bell for that. So that was a lot of fun, being in a room with all music teachers, just having a lot of fun and doing what they do. I attended PLI meetings. There was one that was on nutrition, and I'm sorry, I can't remember what the other one, I think it was just a general PLI meeting. Jefferson Family Night, which was just a lot of fun, and very, very, very well attended. Also, I wanted to mention that the City of Anaheim had their first boards and commissions appreciation dinner at the Convention Center, and I wanted to say thank you for, I'm on the library board, so I was invited to that. And it was the first one, and they just did a great job with it. So most of us, or several of us, attended the ACSA Orange County School Board Association joint dinner in Irvine, so I'll let some of you talk about that. The trunk or treats were phenomenal this year. They were amazing. They get more creative every year. I went to Ross, also went to Lights On at Orange Grove and Henry, which also was the Fall Festival and the trunk or treat. I attended Gwen's, Westmont's, Price, and Franklin's. They were just fantastic. I can't even believe the creativity that these parents and families come up with. So well attended. I would say like millions of pounds of candy was going through there. So it was just a lot of fun. Jefferson Jogathon was a huge success. I know they made a lot of money for the school. We all attended the Halloween parade and festival. Well, I mean the parade. I was at the festival all day too, because the grandkids are in those costume contests, which are a lot of fun. 2 winners again this year. But the Halloween parade was a blast. And I just can't believe the thousands and thousands and thousands of people that line up. And it's fun because they really are kind to us when we walk by. And they're cheering and yay, AESD, and it's just a lot of fun. And we always have a great time carrying that banner and, walking through the streets. The Day of the Dead, which was at the city park, and I had to go through that real quick because then we headed to Teacher of the Year. Find the rest of my notes, which I wrote down who the Teachers of the Year were. Oh, Kristen Irvin from Jefferson, correct? And Regina Calvente from Marshall. There are several of us, I'll let the others report, but that's always a fun evening. And, okay, want to congratulate, she left, I think, but Rhonda Robertson for the 2024 Language Access Administration Award. Good job, Rhonda. I attended an Anaheim Resource Fair at Stoddard Park. Very well attended, and this goes back a little bit. Like I said, I was sick last time. It was just a great afternoon, and I'm so happy that there's so many resources there for our families. I did do the Walk to School Day with Franklin. Thank you to all it was National Principals Month, I believe October, or it's not this month, right? It was October. Okay, well, I didn't get a chance to say thank you to all of our principals. On a Saturday, I think it was the 2nd of November, I did go to Santa Ana College. Is that the ELOP Speech Awards? Which we have some great kids, man. Our schools are really in there, and they did fantastic. There were so many schools. You want to help me with which schools were in it? Because I didn't write them all down.
We had 14 schools that competed, but we had 4 school sites that took 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. So this is, again, throughout all of California. It's through Advantage, our service provider, and our schools did amazing. Stoddard continues to just do a phenomenal job. Jefferson and I believe Edison was the school. I could look it up.
Well, it's really great. I love going and seeing those awards, and they're so excited. And these kids have worked hard. These students have worked very, very hard and deserve this. And they're all like in their nice clothes and getting their awards. So with that, I think I would just like to direct a few comments to Paulo and say how much I'm going to miss you. These 8 years have been fun, and I just want to say that I admire you as a board member, and as a person, thank you for always being so kind to me and so respectful of me. You always showed me such great respect. Your mama taught you right. And I will just say that the thing I love most about you being on this board was it didn't matter if you were happy or sad or angry, and I don't want to share about it, but your passion was just so, always so evident. Just you're passionate and your love of this district and these students and the families and the employees, and I just always admired that. And I will wish you, you know, you're gonna stick close because you're a friend now. And, but thank you for your presence these past 8 years and how much joy you've given this district and all the hard work that you've put into this, being on this board. I wish you well in all your future endeavors. I know you're gonna do great things. I knew that when I went to watch you get your doctorate. I was there. I waited outside because I was just so proud of you. But anyways, thank you for all of your service to this district. And I just love you. I really do. So, and with that, I also would just like to say goodbye to a very sweet man, Dr. John Dalen, who I had as a teacher at Loera High School in 1974-75, and who sadly passed away a week or so ago. And rest in peace, Coach Dalen. You know, he was really beloved. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and I will pass it over to Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Philbeck. Let's go through. You did a good job covering most of the events that I attended, so I won't spend too much time on that. But I was able to. It's been a long month, so it seems like it's been a while. A lot of stuff has happened since the last board report. So just go over this briefly. I was able to attend the LEAD program again. I think it was my third time being here, and I just have to say again, just very impressed with all of the candidates, all of the individuals who've chosen to not only be lifelong learners, but really want to advance in their career and being able to give back to the district. Every time I'm here, great discussions. Dr. Grace is usually here for those as well. And so I just appreciate you know, all the hard work that they're putting into that. So it's an all-day event. I mean, they're here from 8 to 3 once a month. I think this last time they were in San Diego, they had some of their conference. So, but anyway, they do a great job with that, facilitating, and our partnership with Cal State Fullerton. It's great. I appreciate that we have those community partnerships. October 14th, I was able to attend the College and Career Fair, which is at the Convention Center. Great to see some of our students there, our families, the different events, the different options and opportunities that are out there. They're not just college, but also the career opportunities that exist that a lot of students don't know about. And so it's a great opportunity to see that. It's a great opportunity for our students to interact with our feeder district and see some of the programs that are offered at the high school level as well. So always a great event. And the transportation that's provided as well for the families is super helpful to facilitate that. Also, October 16th at the OCSBA joint dinner, I was fortunate to have Trustee Philbeck as my partner for some of the activities that we did, the games and the activities. So that was, it was dinner and a show in some ways. So I appreciate you, Trustee Philbeck, with some of those icebreakers that we're doing, really getting out of our comfort zone a little bit and really learning how just those interpersonal skills and the leadership skills that goes into was very helpful and very insightful to experience. Oh. Thank you. All right. And October 23rd, I was able to attend the Orange Grove Elementary School trunk or treat. So I want to thank Miss, was that Orange Grove? I did go to that one as well, but this was Miss Hastings. Laura Hastings had invited me to that, so she gave me a little bit longer leash in terms of my shift in passing out candy, since I didn't do such a good job last year. So she said, I'm gonna give you a second chance. I was able to pass out a little bit of candy, then I had to take a break. So anyway, Trustee Relis was supposed to partner up with me, but he wasn't there. So maybe next year.
I was, but I just go and eat the candy. So
eating all the product. So, and then I was able to race back here for the tail end of the LCAT meeting. So I caught just the very end of it. So I arrived a little tardy on that. October 25th was the other trunk or treat that I was able to attend, which was a second annual hosted by Councilmember Carlos Leon. And I'll just put a plug in. I saw Trustee Alvarez there as well. So, so him and his family were there. And also just seeing some of my coworkers there as well. So again, these are these events that they're in the community. They're there to, you know, one of my AP was there, and who's a parent in the district, which was nice to see just the community come together at all these events. They're not just these impersonal flyers that you get, but you get to actually interact with your neighbors while you're there, which I really appreciate. Also at the Anaheim Fall Festival, we're going to miss you, Paolo, with the golf cart from now on. So it's not going to be the same. So that was also fun. And I just want to echo the comments of Trustee Philbeck, just seeing all of the community out there. You know, sometimes you hear students shouting your name. You don't know where it's coming from. People waving at you. So it's really a great time for the community to come together. And then November 1st, the Dia de los Muertos event. I was able to stop by that briefly before the Teacher of the Year. I know it was covered in the Ms. Gordillo's presentation, so just congratulations again to those recipients. And that's something that all of our teachers are doing all the time. So I just want to thank them even behind the scenes for all the work that they're doing. So thank you for that. And then I also want to just say happy National Psychology Week. We're in the midst of that right now too. So I just want to give a shout out to our psychologists for all of their work that they're doing. And then it's kind of a tough act to follow with Ms. Philbeck, but I just want to thank you as well, Dr. Magalis. Yeah, it's been a pleasure serving with you for the past 6 years that I've been here. I really appreciate your thoughtfulness, the passion that Trustee Philbeck was referring to, even when we don't agree on everything. You're authentic. You're passionate about it. You are doing it because you have the best interest in mind for the students, whatever your decision, your conclusion that you come to. I know I can trust that. So I appreciate that. We'll miss your energy. I'll miss your energy here. We know where to find you, so you're not going to be too far. So anyhow, I just want to say how much I appreciate our conversations we've had, our discussions, sometimes our robust discussions that we've had, but really appreciate that you have the students as your number one priority. And I think as long as that's your North Star, that's your compass, is set to that, you can have a clear conscience about your votes, about your decisions. So anyway, I just want to thank you for your service here. And don't take too much longer so you can go celebrate your sister. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that comment, Jackie, Mark. It has really been an honor serving with all of you. And Juan, I know you're probably watching this, yeah, it's just been great, I'm gonna miss the Halloween parades. Those are amazing, so much fun. Congratulations. I'm so proud of all the teachers, all the students, right? And this year, for the first year, we had our drum line, right? Talk about aligning, right? Our visual and performing arts as well. So I'm gonna really miss our Halloween parade. I'm just so proud of everybody. And all the time that it takes to do all the logistics, right? That's a lot, working with the city and all of our students and our parents, right? The National Association for Multicultural Education's International Annual Conference is actually here in Anaheim. They were here at Juarez Elementary this morning, and I'm really happy that I came because I got to see Magali and all of our staff just share our journey again, right? And to end, my term on the board, just to see where we've all come, right? It's just so powerful. Right? We've done a lot. Like, a lot of the things we've done together, that's in the research. We've done it, and we've done it well. You know, a lot of districts talk about transformative districts. By the way, a lot of those, because I'm part of the app, were like wowed by the presentation, right? They were incredibly honored, and the folks in this conference are international. Some are from New Zealand, some are from various states, and they're like, how did you do it? How can we get our district to do it, right? This is a common trend in a lot of conferences we go to. They come to us and ask, how did we do it, right? And man, I'm just so proud. So great job, Magali, great job, Dr. Moreno, our amazing superintendent. You know, I really want to say best of luck. You know, I know you're the best for this job. You're going to continue to make, and I love our slogan, right? Growing stronger every day. That's perfect, because I know that you are going to lead, along with the board and cabinet, us to even higher heights. So I wish the best of luck to you. When and if you ever need me, I'm just a phone call away. Oh, I forgot also to share that Lower High School had their Dia de los Muertos event, annual event. It's one of the biggest events. And a lot of our kids actually performed from Madison, and one of our teachers was there. Also, it's that one teacher that always dances with the kids to make sure they're on point. Yes, she was there too, and she was doing it again with the high school kids and the elementary kids. It was awesome, right? She didn't care who's watching. She'll be like right in front, making sure the kids are on point, right? And that reminds me of our teachers. That reminds me of our faculty and staff, right? It's about them, right? We serve them to give them the opportunities that they deserve, right? Amidst all the barriers in our country, amidst all the barriers that they are facing, right? Like what they say with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, kids can't learn if they're hungry. Kids can't learn if they're worried about shelter. Kids can't learn if they're worried about their parents being deported when they come home after school. And this is the reality that we are going to face in the next 4 years. In fact, I'm very proud as a board member. When I first got into office, one of the very first things that we passed as a school board, and I remind our superintendent this and our cabinet, that we do have a Safe Schools resolution here to protect all of our students regardless of their immigration status, right? Also, the Teacher of the Year dinner was amazing. You know, I know that there's a lot of teachers who are very humble. First and foremost, congratulations to our Teachers of the Year. You deserve it. But all of our teachers, all of our faculty and staff, some that are humble, some that don't choose to be in the spotlight, right? You know, at the end of the day, you're there after school, before school. You're there creating curriculum. You're there amidst all the layers that our kids face, and you are there. And I am proud of you, and I am proud of this district. And thank you. Thank you. It's been an honor serving all of you. And yeah, have a great fall break, everybody. Thank you. That concludes my final report. Thank you very much.
This is what I'm going to miss, you know? Wow. All right, I'm going to make this quick. First off, I just want to start off by saying that I look like this with like my facial hair growing out all over the place, not because of the fact that I'm sloppy, but because of the fact that I'm a little sloppy, but I am participating in No Shave November. I'm very happy about this. I started doing this last year. This is the one time of the year where I actually shave off my mustache and then start fresh again. I was able to get our Superintendent Chavarria here to basically participate as well, so I'm very proud. I have a couple of my teachers over at Orangeview Junior High School playing in this. It's awesome. I know that basically my SRO, he's participating in this. I know Trustee Lopez, if he could grow facial hair, he would have participated in this. But it's a good thing, and it's bringing awareness to men's health and whatnot, which is oftentimes overlooked, you know? So I'll get off my pedestal there. Now, on the 23rd, I went to Henry and Orange Grove and participated in their trunk or treats, which was awesome. Of course, I went and made a gluttonous pig of myself and ate all this great candy. It was delicious, but chocolate is good for you. And then I went over on the 25th to Westmont and Gwen's trunk or treats. Similar to what Trustee Philbick was saying, the creativity is just off the hook. I cannot even believe this, and how much like more vast they've gotten, and the candy and the themes, and just really just the excitement of it all. It's so nice to see so many people there from the community. On the 29th, I went to Franklin's Trunk or Treat, which was once again fantastic. It was nice seeing a lot of my former students who now have children in this district. So I'm definitely dating myself, but it's a cool experience in seeing them all, you know. The thing that's different is when they're like, Mr. Rellis, I was like, you can call me Ryan now, you have like a 10-year-old, you know. It's okay. So, you know, don't worry about that. The fall festival as a whole was fantastic. Let me correct that. I did not go to the fall festival. I went to the parade. Fall festival day, wasn't able to attend this time around just because we had a Saturday academy, so I had to work. And then, you know, to be full transparent, it's Corgi Beach Day for corgis in Huntington Beach, and my dog's best friend's a corgi, so I had to take him over to the beach that day and do all this thing. So, but I made it to the parade, and it was fantastic. Honestly, the parade is always one of my favorites. And I worked at Anaheim, like I said, for 17 years, so it was nice because you see usually everybody from the community, and you know, the following Monday they're like, "Hey, Rellis, I saw you at the parade," and it's like, "Oh, cool." I work on the west side of the district, like the farthest school on the west side of AUHSD. One street over, it's Stanton. One street over, it's Buena Park. One street over, it's Cypress. I don't know where I'm at, okay? But it's Anaheim, West Anaheim. And so I honestly didn't think anything of it. No one was going to see me or anything like that. I was so amazed by the students that were just like, "Hey, Mr. Rellis, I saw you at a parade on this weekend. Were you at a parade carrying a banner?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, you were yelling my name. That was cool." So it was pretty cool. Teacher of the Year dinner, fantastic as always. I definitely enjoyed myself there, and just very proud of our teachers. They are rock stars, and it always makes me so happy when they go through and they, you know, announce the nominees, and you know, we definitely have some of the loudest groups here. So we definitely make our presence known. And then, of course, the dinner that we all went to, that was great. I forgot what the topic of the speaker was, but I remember the icebreakers, which was really cool. Those are fun things and whatnot. I'll try it at a staff meeting and see what happens. But overall, it was good. And, you know, it's my honor, Dr. McAuliffe, to basically have the privilege of serving as president of your last year on the Board of Trustees. Dr. McAuliffe and I have known each other for many, many years, first as educators, but we didn't really get close until actually when you were actually getting ready to run for board and whatnot, and just we became very close. I'm very thankful for having you as a fellow trustee. Similar to the comments made by, you know, our other board members, your passion itself, it's contagious. I love it. It always makes me happy. Even when I'm like bummed out, it really gets me pumped. But most importantly, it's just your authenticity. You're one of the most authentic people I know. And, you know, some people, you know, it's something that I just truly value, because regardless of whether or not you agree with me or not, you have no problem telling me, "Hey, listen, I don't agree with this because of this, this, and this." Okay, I get you. I'd much rather have that than, you know, you smiling saying, "Okay, and I don't agree." You know what I mean? Like, and you always let me know, and I do appreciate that. And when it was said and done, you always operated like all of them said, you know, with our students first. And that's the thing that I will always remember from your term, from your tenure on this board, is that you always put the students first. And I know that whatever your future endeavors are going to be, if you keep operating with that kind of mindset, it's going to be good, bro. Okay? So with that said, best of luck to you. If any other of my fellow board members have any future agenda items to put on here, except for Dr. McAuliffe, since you're not going to be here, Trustee Philbick, Trustee Lopez, and I have nothing as well. All right, on that note, I conclude this meeting at 8:36. Thank you.